Adlaw. Welcome to the Queen City of the South, the city of Cebu. The city has thrived more than ever over the past few years because of its famed tourist spots and rising economy.
Cebu has everything: a variety of nature's treasures, a well-preserved cultural heritage, and a busy metropolis. Join us today as we learn the past, explore the present, and meet the beautiful people of this city. This is Imagine Philippines, Cebu! History reigns in the oldest city and first capital of the Philippines.
The rich past of Cebu plays more than an important role in learning the country's history itself, no less than the Christianization of the Philippines that took place in this very island over 500 years ago.
Our first stop, Fort San Pedro, the country's oldest fort.
Fort San Pedro is a fortress where the Spanish, during the time where they stay, and when the arrival of the Spaniards, it is where the Spaniards are protecting the Moro raiders for the villagers here. When Cebu City had back the Fort San Pedro in 1998 from the Philippine Tourism Authority, where they managed port starting in the early 80s. And when Cebu City took over, Cebu City started to beautify Fort San Pedro together with the Plaza Independencia, and now it is today where tourists and some locals will come over just to see how beautiful our treasure of the past now, and to let them know also how important Fort San Pedro, not only Fort San Pedro, but the history and the heritage itself that we have and we enjoy every day, and that so that people will remind us that this is the start of who we are today, and we should take care of it. We should treasure it.
We now go to perhaps Cebu's most iconic tourist spot, the Magellans Cross.
I'm here today with Ma'am Ellen, our Cebu tour guide. In front of us is the Magellans Cross. Hi ma'am, how are you po?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm good. How about you, sir?
Okay lang din, okay lang din. We're having
So
a great time in
welcome to Cebu.
Thank you. Ma'am, we have a few questions lang.
pa.
Can you tell us
Go ahead.
something about the Magellans Cross? So what is the Magellans Cross?
Okay, so we are right here at Magellans Cross. So Magellans Cross was actually named after Ferdinand Magellan, who planted exactly the cross in this site. So this is the very exact spot where Ferdinand Magellan planted this cross April 21 of 1521. So it gives us a symbolism of our Christian faith because number one, during his voyage, he got his fund coming from Spain, and in exchange for favor, King Charles wanted him to establish the 3G in the name of God, gold, and glory. So definitely to establish Christianity in the Philippines. So we were the first Christian baptized people in the country.
And just like that, Christianity in the Philippines as we know it today continues to grow. Thanks to that fateful event 500 years ago in the very ground we stand on. Situated just about next to the cross is the Basilica de Santo Nino. The site is home to the oldest and most celebrated relic in the Philippine Christian history, the image of Señor Santo Nino, aka the Infant Jesus.
So kung saan ngayon makikita natin yung Santo Nino Church, dito po exactly nakikita yung imahe ng Santo Nino nung nagkaroon po ng labanan between the Spaniards and the locals. So sinunog po kasi ang buong palibot po nito. So when Miguel Lopez de Legazpi and together with yung isang soldier po nila in the name po na Juan Camus, may nakita po sila sa isang bahay mismo na isang box. So nagtataka po siya kasi yung box na yun is made of wood, pero nang mabuksan nila ito, gawa din mismo sa kahoy yung napaloob, which is the image of the Holy Child Jesus Christ. From then on, they call this place as the Villa del Santissimo Nombre de Jesus.
a recently declared important cultural property by the National Museum of the Philippines, the Yap San Diego Ancestral House is not one to miss visiting.
So welcome to Yap San Diego Ancestral House. So anyway, this was actually built 1675. Then consider this one of the oldest houses in the Philippines and possibly the oldest Chinese home which is outside from China. Because original owner of this house was a Chinese merchant. So their family name is Yap. So main structure, so those lower walls of the house made out of coral stones. Then original all of the pillars, floor, stairs, and especially the roof up there. Then all of the artifacts that you can see right here. So these were compilations of materials from 16th century until 1940s. But it was owned by different generations of family as well. So now, all of those family paintings that you can see right here, even this wedding pictures, couple frame, family portrait, guy on the frame. So all of those is just one family. So present owner now, they will be considered to be in the 10th generation. Still direct descendants San Diego already. And they still sleep here until now, every weekends. Seriously, Friday at Saturday night. Why? It's because they don't want this house to be totally abandoned and they run it this museum privately owned by the family.
Finally, we visit the Cebu Heritage Monument, a sculpture that illustrates an amalgamation of events from the history of Cebu, such as the monarch Raha Humabon's baptism and the Battle of Mactan between Lapu-Lapu and Ferdinand Magellan and their troop.
This is now our Cebu Heritage Monument located here in the Paran District. So this was actually established sometime the year 1997 with the help of our national artist in the name of Eduardo Castrillo. 44 years after of the time of Ferdinand Magellan, the group of Magellans and Legazpi arrived. So yun yung panahon kung saan nahawakan po tayo ng mga Espanyol. So he became the first gobernadorcillo in particular in the Philippine island kung saan naandito tayo sa Cebu. Ito naman, makikita nyo, it was also depicted at the back, the galleon. It was the lone galleon that was able to go back to San Pilar de Verameda because during their circumnavigation, they were given around 5 galleons. Unfortunately, the 3 were shipwrecked all along the way to the western route, where they landed the small island in Limasawa. But the only lone survivor of the ship, of a ship which is actually the Victoria. So they were able to go back to San Pilar de Verameda with the second in command to Ferdinand Magellan, that was Juan Sebastian Elcano. So kaya nga, napagsabi doon na hindi flat mismo yung daigdig natin. It was totally round because they were able to go back to San Pilar de Verameda. And eventually, they try already to establish this Christianity as one of the main purpose and reason of their circumnavigation. Cebu is very rich in history and culture. Yeah, so all of this really touches the lives of the Filipinos, just like for once, Sandugo, or what we call the Blood Compact. Sandugo happened in time of the arrival of Miguel Lopez de Legazpi with the king chieftain in Bohol in particular. So that was Raha Sikatuna.
If anything, being able to see the city's history from the lenses of tomorrow, seeing artifacts like the Magellans Cross and the Fort San Pedro despite their century-old existence, says a lot about the people of Cebu who know a thing or two about respecting the past in order to build for the future.
You're in for a treat if you're looking for good food here in Cebu. Exhibit A, the trademark Cebu lechon recipes everyone has heard about. Rico's lechon is as Cebu staple as it gets. It's everything a lechon should be, taste-wise and quality-wise, a lechon recipe for the ages.
We're here at 8 Fix and Chill, located along Raman Street. We'll try out the Cebu street food staple, tuslob buwa. Tara! Alright, so tuslob meaning dip, buwa meaning bubbles. So, technically, ano ba siya?
It's dipping into bubbles.
Dipping into bubbles. Sige. So, let's try tuslob buwa. Check it out. Alright, sige. Audrey, cheers.
Cheers.
Sarap. What does it remind you of?
Basically, the taste is like yung buong naro ng bulalo.
Oo nga, no? Parang somewhat.
And then you put a little spice lang, like chili oil.
Chili oil, exactly. It's a very unique taste. I've probably never tasted anything like this. Pero,
It's really good.
wow. Only in Cebu. Only in Cebu. We began our Cebu adventure today discovering the city's roots and heritage, understanding where all the beauty comes from. The rich culture, amazing people, and meaningful stories.
While today's chapter comes to an end, we're just getting started. Cebu truly has a lot to offer, so join us once more as we extend our Cebu adventure in our next episode, where we unravel more destinations that give rise to Cebu's nickname, the Queen City of the South.
This is Imagine Philippines Cebu.